lunch drink from Taco Bell and enter your code for a chance to win the all-new Xbox Series X.
Yo, what up? Yeah, that's crazy. They took the snip from Eminem and 8 Mile and put that shit over the fucking the yeah, how they put that shit over the Trump Biden debate, yo. Yo, these motherfuckers crazy. Look how they did this shit, yo. Yo, I swear to God. Yo, who got enough time to sit around and come up with dumb shit? Like, for real though. But I be liking the dumb shit because the dumb shit be making me laugh. I don't got time to think of shit like that, yo. Look at these motherfuckers talking about my favorite part of the debate. Yo, who did this? Now everybody for the 313. Motherfucking hands up, follow me. Everybody for the 313. Sushi. Don't stand tough. Don't get murdered. Have his hands up. Alright. Like I said, I don't know who did it, but I'm grateful to that person who spliced that snippet from 8 Mile over the Biden Trump debate. It's just hilarious to me. And everybody for the 313. Now notice as he stands tough, everybody noticed he did not have his hands up. Then Trump's like, why? Why is this so funny? My God. Yeah. But Trump told him not to use the word smart with him. I think that was the funniest part of the whole shit for me, yo. Biden, so the dude asked Biden some question, and Biden was like, "Yeah, man, because he can't figure it out. If he doesn't smarten up a whole lot, really fast, then we're in trouble." And Trump was like, "Wait, smart? Did you just say smart?" Then he went in on his ass, yo. He was like, "Yo, you can't even remember what college you graduated from, and you graduated like the lowest in your fucking class. Don't ever use that word with me ever again, yo." And then Biden is just like, with no comeback. I'm like, damn, yo. Smart. Did you just say smart? Because Trump, he know he a genius. Trump know he a goddamn genius, bro. I was just looking through some Facebook shit, seeing if there was anything interesting. Oh yeah. And they say, yo, yesterday they say Trump and the first lady got COVID, yo. Trump doing very well uh, during first night at Walter Reed Hospital for COVID-19 treatment. NBC News. So this is the National Broadcasting Channel, or whatever that shit, National Broadcasting Company, or whatever NBC stands for. But that's all over, like NBC, Washington Post. Pelosi anticipates reaching economic relief deal with Mnuchin, saying Trump diagnosis changes the dynamic. Ooh, local news. Yo, local news, because we just recently got a new mayor, yo. This shit says, former Scranton mayor sentenced to 7 years in prison on federal corruption charges. Scranton, Lackawanna County. It was a gloomy morning Friday as Bill Courtright walked into federal court in Scranton. 7 years in prison, the result. It was the apparent sentence. Under the circumstances, it was just a fair sentence, Paul Walker, Courtright's attorney, said. More than a year after pleading guilty to criminal extortion, conspiracy, and bribery charges, the sentence is finally in. 7 years in prison, 3 years supervised release, more than $25,000 in fines, and 250 hours of community service. Courtright's attorney couldn't explain why his client did what he did, but says the ruling is just. You know, you're never happy when a client goes to jail, clearly, but I think that was probably one of the most thoughtful and fair sentences I've ever had. Practicing defense work for over 30 years, said Walker. The judge in this case pointing out that abuse of power corrupts absolutely, as these crimes make the first legal stain on the 63-year-old's records. With punishment handed down, Walker says his client has taken his licks and can move forward. He's been on pins and needles for nearly 2 years now. Why do they he's been, you need a comma or different quotations right there. Whoever edited this shit did a really poor job, because in this one sentence up here, it's like a run-on sentence, but it's weird how they put a period where it shouldn't have go, like clearly. But I think that was probably one of the most thoughtful and fair sentences, period, I've ever had, period. Practicing defense work for over 30 years, said Walker. Like, why do you put two periods right there? And then right here, it just reads really, really weird. He's been, on pins and needles for nearly 2 years now, and I think he's just relieved to get it over with, Walker said. The judge also noted that the losses suffered by the city are difficult to quantify, as Courtright, the latest to fall in a long line of scandal. I've lived most of my life in Lackawanna County, and I've seen, what happens in Lackawanna County, and I've got 5 kids, none of whom are going to return to Lackawanna County. It's like you have to stop. You know, we look what goes on with the school district. We look when I'm with Cordio Masick, and you know we're kind of the laughing stock of Pennsylvania. Why does he say you know so much, and they actually put that in the print? You know, you know. The judge, the judge in this case, as well as the defense attorney, in agreement that the buck had to stop here. But with the punishment, but will the punishment be enough to deter future corruption in northeastern Pennsylvania? 7 years? When these motherfuckers bank millions over how many years? Bank millions. And then like they said, they got all the way up to the mayor because all these other motherfuckers were going down. And it's like, oh, so you only were able to accomplish all of this mischief because you had the mayor, you had the dude running the city backing you up and helping you out with these shady ass and shiesty ass fucking deals and contracts and extortion and collusion and all kind of shit, yo. And it's like that kind of make me think too. Like his attorney was like, "Oh, it's a fair sentence. 7 years? How can this motherfucker ain't doing 10, 12 years? That's why you gonna lock a little black kid up for 12 years for some crack charges or some shit. This motherfucker extorting millions of dollars from federal funds, county funds, state funds, all kind of shit for how many years, and he only gets 7 years in jail. You know why it's a fair deal? Because the lawyer and the judge and somebody else in that shit, the chief police, some of them motherfuckers in on it too. So look, we like you said, oh, the buck had to stop here. Because if y'all keep snooping, some more dice are gonna fucking fall. So look, let's hit him with this nice little 7-year sentence. You're gonna have to do a bunch of community time and some other bullshit, but we're gonna punish you. See, everybody, see? There's no other people to look for. Everything is done. He got his punishment. But 7 years, like, fuck out of here, bro. The sentence was lighter than those of other corruption cases in eastern Pennsylvania because of Courtwright's immediate resignation and guilty plea. The judge noted in the courtroom that Courtwright had earned the title disgraced former mayor despite his record and accomplishments while in office. Yeah, what up, bro? The charges stem from Courtwright receiving $30,000 from the president of Northeast Revenue Service over the course of 4 years from 2013 to 2000. Northeast Revenue Service is who I pay my property taxes to. Ain't that some shit? Damn, I'm after my reading this article. Now, I gotta write these motherfuckers an email and let them know that I know about they COO's dirty dealings with handling my tax dollars, $30,000 over the course of 4 years. Man, these motherfucker making an extra 12 grand a year. Doing what? What you was doing to get that money? In a pay-to-play scheme, the private company held Scranton's delinquent taxes. Yeah, it's a tax company, yo. The private company handled Scranton's delinquent taxes while funneling finances to Courtwright's re-election. The scheme ensured the city would keep its contract with the company. According to the prosecutors, taxpayers paid $2.9 million in fees while Courtwright was in office, despite the city having a proposal that would have saved them $1.8 million over the same period. Within sentencing guidelines, along with the $30,000, federal prosecutors are including the total value taxpayers lost as a result of court rights not accepting the county's proposal for kickbacks. Court right must surrender on or before 2 p.m. on October the 30th. And then that's crazy. Like, you ain't even, we gave you a sentence, but we'll give you until the 30th to come, handle you whatever, get all your affairs in order, and then we'll come put you in the federal prison system and Club Fed, where you're in there with other criminals like you, embezzlers and money launderers, and it's a different kind of prison system for these motherfuckers, man. You know what? They should send his bitch ass right to county. Send his ass to the county with everybody else. Yo, all the way deep in that shit, bro. With the tax company. And then that's crazy, like how the tax company was fucking. I know they got whoever was running that shit, they got kickbacks, and y'all working with federal money and city money, city tax dollars, like in the millions. These motherfuckers handling, like they said, 2.1, $1.8 million. So they figured, like, yo, if $15,000, $12,000 go missing from this shit, ain't nobody gonna pay that shit no attention. That's like pennies compared to this shit, man. That's like pennies, you know what I'm saying? $2.1 million, ain't nobody gonna miss 10 grand. Huh? Where did 10 grand go? Gas, gas for public workers, vehicles, insurance. We'll add it on to some other shit. Cell phone bills. All government employees got cell phone bills. We'll just add it on somewhere. It ain't even a lot of money. 10 grand. 10 grand. We pay that in the light bill every month at the courthouse. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't shit. We'll hide that. The drug dealer, I plead the fifth. Can you say fifth? I had to get some trim. Sorry, I'm late. I know he said I got some trim coming around too. I can't be there at that time. And then the white dude is like, "What? You shot my dog?" 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Yo, if the courts was reversed. Oh, I know you're busy. Is it true that you sold drugs in your community? I'd like to plead the fifth. And then him and his lawyer start taking pictures like, yeah. Yo, tax dollars, bro. My tax. That's what I'm saying. That's who I pay my property taxes. Come in a little envelope, Northeast Revenue Service. I gotta give y'all my fucking money, and then y'all in cahoots with embezzlement from the mayor, getting kickbacks for his campaign in the amount of $30,000 over the course of 4 years. Come on, man. And then all his other little homies, like I say, that shit worked its way up to the mayor, because some other dudes was going down with like some contracts, some non-big contracts they was getting, and some shiesty ass other shit, bro. And motherfuckers started looking into that shit, and then like this was just last year, yo. We had to get a new mayor. Well, almost 2 years ago now. That shit was crazy, yo. When that shit was front page in the paper, yo. I was like, what? They arrested the mayor for what? Embezzlement. Corruption. Oh shit, this is a motherfucking scandal. Like, this motherfucker might go down. It was him, it was the mayor, and like 5 other dudes they had arrested, yo. And then just recently again, yo, they arrested the lady. She was on the school board or some shit for the district, yo. She was whatever high ass position on the school board. And after this whole, right before the COVID shit, yo, they found out that a bunch of schools in the Lackawanna County, the older buildings, man, these shit still got lead and asbestos in this shit, yo. And they've been calling for renovations for like decades, yo. And the school board just kept ignoring that shit. Like, yo, the school board was ignoring that shit, yo. Then where all that money was going? Money that should have been allocated towards renovation and updates of the actual facilities, the buildings themselves that the city owns. But what y'all was doing with that money? They could have fixed the fucking schools. But these kids going to schools with goddamn old ass lead pipes, motherfucking trickling lead into the water fountain and drinking waters and shit, and asbestos and shit. They locked that bitch up the other day, earlier this week, yo. That shit was like Tuesday, or Wednesday. That shit was in the newspaper. Lock her ass, slap up. She about to do 7 years. Damn. Superintendents, goddamn, housing the kids in unsafe health conditions. The mayor just stealing tax dollars. And then, y'all ever seen the movie The Irishman? That shit is from this area. All that mobster shit, that's all that shit is, man. These old ass mobster families still, they just switch that shit over and make businesses out of that shit, yo. That shit crazy. Damn, I've been waiting to hear something about what they was gonna do with the mayor. They finally put that shit out. 7 years. Yo, that's from this area, yo. When they say Pittston, and they named, I think they say Scranton in that shit too. But that shit is like right there. I'm telling you, bro. And then they this other big family up here named last name the Naples. Say they mob for real. And then like 3 years ago, some dude went missing. Body still never found. And then earlier this year, another body found floating in the river. Yo, they be some real mob shit now. And Scranton be claiming they broke, but got banks. Man, they banks every 2 blocks. How y'all got so many banks around this motherfucker? Huh? How the city bankrupt? But they got down 30 banks in the city. Who got all the money to put in these banks? Yeah. I do paint houses. I do my own carpentry work too. I do my own carpentry work too. I was like, damn. Put that fucking hammer to the nail. Anything else in the news real quick?
It only takes a second to look down at a text. But in that amount of time, you've already traveled this far without looking, which could be a problem for you and them. So the Hyundai Elantra can read your text messages out loud, keeping your eyes where it matters most. The Elantra by Hyundai.
Good luck, you guys. Good luck for what?
It only takes a second to look down at a text. But in that amount of time, you've already traveled
Okay,
this far.
commercial. Rick Moranis attacked on New York City streets, who's gonna attack the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? You know, the guy from Little Shop of Horror. Damn. I want to watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids now. And then watch Honey, I Blew Up the Baby. Michael B. Jordan partners with Lyft to provide free rides to black and Hispanic people and recent college grads. You black? Get in, man. I gotta give you a ride for free, bro. Michael B. Jordan already paid for it. Motherfuckers doing shit with their money. A principal used the N-word. The school suspended black student instead. Wow. I don't even want to read that article because that's just like some little catchy bait click shit. Probably ain't even really. I don't know. They're trying to make you click on anything now. Police monitoring Trump supporter who threatened war if Joe Biden wins the election. Why would you even do that shit? Y'all seen that shit, yo? The motherfucker who said that dumbass shit. Who probably posted this shit? Let's go to Alright, this dude right here. Y'all seen this?
There's a war coming. Whoever wins, it's down to two. We already know this. Third party, they don't even matter. It's down to two. One or the other is going to win. As a certain supporter, we know which one's going to win. Trump 2020. But there's a thing about it. The reason why I say there's a war coming is because if Trump wins, Black Lives Matter and all them other Antifa dumbasses are going to try to start war. We ready. Don't worry. We ready. Us rednecks and stuff, we ready for y'all. But if Biden wins, we coming. And we coming strong. Come November.
Why would anybody even say something dumb like that? Why would you even do that, dude? That's so not the right public service announcement to try to be making, yo. I don't know. Motherfuckers are super stupid in this Proud Boy shit or whatever. And if Biden wins, we're gonna start a war and we're coming for you. Anyway. Anything else kind of funny? Yo, that's crazy. Hmm. Yo, my homie just called somebody out in their neighborhood, yo. That's crazy. She walked by, somebody has this in their yard, and it's like this ancient Indian figure, but it's holding like an assault rifle, and she went in on like, this is just a way to hide your fucking racism, and we know what the fuck you're doing, bro. Stop appropriating people's culture and turning that shit into something that it's not. You know what I'm saying? She just went in. The lawn decoration was spotted on my morning walk. The horrifying and gross appropriation of a sacred figure to promote a person's right to own, brandish, fire, and automatic weapon left me rattled and angry. This is how people try to camouflage and subvert their racism with a colonialist grab for sacred Indian figures. We see you and we're holding you accountable. Uh, The Kokopelli embodies the true American Southwest and dates back to over 3,000 years ago when the first petroglyphs were carved. Although its true origin is unknown, this traveling flute playing Casanova is a sacred figure in many southern Native Americans. And then somebody took the flute and motherfucking turned it into a assault rifle. She was like, that's really, really disrespectful, yo. You should not be displaying some dumb shit like that. I had to share that post. That was crazy. Damn. Alright, guys. Enough of this crap. Social media is exhausting. It's exhausting to say the least. So let's do some shit like paint something. Oh, I actually have an appointment today. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I tried to install my radio myself. Couldn't figure that shit out. I don't know if I wired that shit wrong or what, or if I don't have the right wiring harness, but I'm pretty sure it is the right wiring harness. But I don't know. The car connector seems to have like way more connectors than the aftermarket harness has, and that's the weird thing that I really couldn't get. Like, there's 4 connectors coming from the vehicle, but there's only like one connector coming from the radio. And I was like, well, where do I plug these other shits in at? And I don't know. And then I have the backup camera, talking about running a wire all the way to the front. I was like, you know what? I'll just pay somebody else to do that shit, yo. So, yeah. So I go do that this afternoon, and then got a speeding ticket. Gotta go pay the speeding ticket. I'm gonna be broke as shit this weekend, yo. I gotta pay a speeding ticket and get my radio installed. And excuse me, there was something else. Oh, I gotta not write, but I gotta put together a PowerPoint for next Friday. I'm gonna be a part of a panel discussion about artists and how are we coping and through this epidemic, and how has this affected our art career, our work that we're producing, and other situations like that. And so they just want a little PowerPoint put together of things that we've been working on. So yeah. Okay. So I was actually in here earlier this morning, right before I went to the gym. Like, on the weekends now, the gym doesn't open until 7, but I was already up like 4 or something, so I just came up here and painted for a little while. And I actually got a complete second coat on his face, or a second layer of paint. I keep saying the second coat like I'm painting a wall or something. Same fucking thing in essence though. But so I do have a second layer of paint over his face, and so now his skin tones look a little bit more realistic. Um, with this piece, I know for a fact I'm gonna have to do probably 2 more layers to actually get it to how I want it to look. So what I want to do now is work on his hair, and I think I'm gonna work on his hair and his glasses and try to get those kind of squared away, and then I'll start working on their articles of clothing, his shirt, and she has on like she's actually wearing like a blouse and a little jacket on top of that. And he said I can make the background whatever color. I actually just put that color on the background because it was a bunch of leftover paint that I was using from painting his shirt. And then I asked him, I was like, does your homie have like a favorite color? He's like, I don't really know. He's just said, do the background whatever color you think looks nice. So I was thinking about making it like a blue or a light green. But the more I look at this peachy color, I don't know if it blends in with his shirt too much. So I think I'll try to wait until after I get a little more detail in his shirt to decide if I'm going to change that background color or not. And then I'm really thinking I don't know, I'm thinking it might be a blue that I go with. If I change it at all. Or I could, no. So I could lighten it up a little bit or put a halo effect around it, but then I wouldn't want it to like blend in with his shirt too much. We'll see. So let's do this for a minute. Let's find something interesting to listen to. want to listen to some PlayStation news. Honestly. Hello. What the heck? What? Really? Because I guess I'm bending that shit or something? I don't know. Yo, you can't put like no pressure on this board at all. Alright, PlayStation Plus free games for October. Let's see what these are real quick. But I really want to see
The guy behind the chainsaws.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do. If you want to save 15...
This is a chick gamer? Wait a minute.
PlayStation Plus games a crunchy road to Cyberpunk, and how'd you like a chance to win a next-gen console? Roll the thing! Ow, my knee! Just kidding. But what rhymes with knee? Free! Free PlayStation Plus games for October 2020 have been announced, and they'll be available starting next Tuesday, October 6th, until Monday, November 2nd. First up, Need for Speed Payback, a solid arcade racer, but in our 5.9 review, we called out, quote, its linear cop chases, its overwrought and insidious upgrade system, its dreadful dialogue, and its superficial action sequences. But if you don't have the need for speed, there's Vampire Don't Nudge narrative-focused RPG, which we gave a 7. IGN's review noted how it takes its time to ramp up, but offers an, quote, intriguing blend of science and supernatural. And it's almost October, a perfect time to vamp up the spook factor. See what I did there? And if this news made you realize you didn't take advantage of last month's games, PUBG and Street Fighter V, don't worry. You still have time because they'll remain available for free to PS Plus members until October 5th. Cyberpunk 2077's November 19th release date is just around the corner, and according to CD Projekt Red head of studio Adam Badowski, the developers will have to crunch to make that date. Yesterday, a Bloomberg report contained an email from Badowski that explained a mandatory 6-day workweek would be enacted for staff in the weeks leading up to Cyberpunk's release, despite the studio's previous promise that employees would not be forced to crunch on the game in an interview with Kotaku in 2019. Today, Badowski responded with a statement on Twitter and calls the move, quote, one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, but notes that Cyberpunk 2077's developers will be, quote, well compensated for every extra hour they put in. The statement also notes that, quote, like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit our company generates in 2020 will be split directly among the team.
Endless possibilities, endless lies.
If you're not familiar with the concept of crunch, it's a term within the video game industry to describe situations where employees are asked to work overtime to meet project deadlines, and has been in the headlines more and more over the last few years, as people are calling for change in these work practices. And now, let's take a moment to break and reset, presented by Cheez-It Groups. Real talk, it has been a tough couple of weeks, especially for those of us who took an L trying to get our hands on a next-gen console pre-order, but fear not. Because Daily Fix and Cheez-It Grooves could be here to turn that L upside down and maybe bend it a bit till it's the shape of a W. I guess what I'm trying to say is we have a contest where you have the chance to win a next-gen console of your choice. That's right. We'll be picking someone to win a PS5 or Xbox Series X, and more importantly, 3 boxes of Cheez-It Grooves. Check out the link in the description to enter. And that's your Daily Fix. I'm Sydney Goodman, and I hope your day is as awesome as you are. Now that you're all caught up on the news, check out our latest episode of Power Rankings, where we go through the top Xbox One exclusives as voted on by all of you, or by all of you who voted. Download the IGN app on all your mobile devices, subscribe to the Daily Fix on Snapchat, and for all things, everything else, IGN.com.
What's the fun of a new house? Seeing what people left behind in the attic.
Well, saving on homeowners insurance with Geico's help was pretty fun too.
Well, enjoy your house.
Nope. Geico.
You want to get up close and personal, Will? Yes, you do.
Not for me.
Up close and personal with the PlayStation 5 controller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You'll do that. Apparently we have the best images yet. Because, of course, we don't have one yet. Because, of course, Sony, they're now replying to all of our messages and phone calls. We even wrote them a letter in an envelope. Yeah.
Oh.
We even sent them a request by pigeon.
Oh.
Carrier pigeon.
The old school way?
Yeah, they're still in. But we got the Xbox Series X over there, and if you caught the most recent video, we're playing it.
Oh, yeah.
We got a whole new setup. So we are next gen.
Mm-hmm.
And we, of course, have very closely examined the controller. We've used the controller for the Xbox Series X. We're just waiting to get our hands on the PlayStation controller. In fact, so many people are waiting to get their hands on the PlayStation controller. You know who has their hands on the PlayStation 5 controller, Will? Travis Scott.
Yeah, him and Keeley.
That's it.
Yeah.
They just...
Lucky guys.
Jeff Keighley and Travis Scott, they just hang out and trade the controller back and forth. That's how it works. And then they eat the Travis Scott McDonald's meal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great time, actually.
Oh, yeah. I'm jealous.
Anyway, outside of being Travis Scott and having Sony respond to our carrier pigeon messages, which they will do, Sony, I'm looking at you. These are the closest images we're going to get for now, and they come via an Instagram account from an Argentinian firm named Evzen. And as you can see, the watermark they've embedded into the pattern of the buttons. You see that? It says Evzen.
Oh, yeah.
So don't you dare try to snag that, Will, without the shout-out. And you scroll down, and you're going to get these very close-up images, which the people, they love, because they need to get close. They may buy this thing, they're spending money, they're motivated, and they need to know. So that's a USB Type-C connector. Here's an interesting one. The grip pattern is actual triangles, squares, and circles, of course, pulling the inspiration from the buttons on the front of the PlayStation.
Yeah.
You like that?
Very cool. I never knew.
That's an attention to detail. You may not even notice it when you pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close you have to get to realize what you're gripping on. And we have the thumbstick. Now I'm curious about the thumbstick because I have videos going back to the ancient times where I would play NBA, and NBA you're hammering forward all the time. If you did like a career mode or something, you're pressing forward all the time. I don't get a chance to play this stuff as much anymore, but back then I could hammer forward a lot, and the earliest versions of PlayStation 4 controllers, you could actually wear down the surface. So I'm real curious about that texture right there, but I like it. I like the way it looks right now.
But it looks
already super grippy.
Exactly. It looks like the fucking Xbox One controller. That shit, the Xbox One controller, that shit felt like it was made out of race car tire rubber. I don't know, like that shit felt like it was indestructible. But the PlayStation controllers, like you said, man, you will wear the thumbstick down on that shit so fast, so fast. It's aggravating. It's like, bro, I only had the controller for a year, and the thumb pad is gone. It's gone. And then they made these aftermarket pads that you can put over the thumb grip that was more durable. And it's like, you should have just... Why did you just make the fucking controller like that to start with, dickheads? No, you got a better aftermarket grip. Like, what is this? This is not logic. But now, like he says, this fucking image of this new PlayStation, man, these shadows on there is fucking killing me. The image of these new PlayStation controllers, oh shit, that shit looked like Xbox junk. Like they had to step up their fucking quality of the hardware. Like it seemed like with the PS4, I mean the games are awesome, but the quality of the hardware is like, it's like minimum to say the best, yo. It's like they wanted to make a cheap, affordable product, but I get it. And these headphones, oh my god, I refuse to buy another pair. The sound quality is great. The speakers are nice, but everything else, the fucking headphone is like the cheapest quality, yo. And I've broken like 5 pair of headphones, and everybody says we'll get Turtle Beaches or these or that, and it's like, no, I own a PlayStation. Sony makes the PlayStation. Sony makes headphones for their PlayStation. I want the headphones that the company that made the game said you should wear. And so I always keep getting the Sony PlayStation Gold, and these motherfuckers always break. And the last pair I got now, the shit is fucking 97% tape. Because I refuse to buy another pair until I get the new shit for the PS5, yo. I just keep taping them bitches up. Alright. Let me take a piss real quick.
And substantial. Scroll down a little bit more, you can see the buttons themselves, no colors, very simple. It's the shape.
Do you think they'll light up?
Oh, I think they're gonna light up.
Yeah.
Are they gonna light up? Has this been covered?
For the color coordination kind of thing. For games, I don't know.
Yeah, well, the big thing with this controller is the hapticness of it and the various haptic motors that are in there. Sony sees it as a differentiating factor when compared to the previous generation, and they see it as a factor compared to the Series X.
Yeah.
Where the controller is very similar with that console to the previous model. The PlayStation, on the other hand, this controller is a total departure from the previous model. And people don't know how to feel about it. Actually, if you scroll down a little bit, Will, we can get more into the haptic stuff, because there is further reading. There's another article you can click at the very bottom where you can see a teardown of the controller. So they took it to another level. So to go with those images that we just looked at, there's the link right there, Will. Oh, you missed it.
What?
It's the picture of the teardown right there.
This one?
No, you got to go scroll down. No, you guys, right there. Instagram user tears down PS5 DualSense controller. There you go, Will. And there's a series of pictures here. I think it's from the same guy. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Argentinian peripheral firm. I don't know how they got their hands on this. Maybe they'll send it to us.
Yeah, this is like a deep dive here.
Maybe they'll send it to us if they can put it back together. Anyways, they took the whole thing apart. You see the board. You can see the internals. It's actually interesting, the structure, how the black portion is completely separate. It's actually a two-piece.
Yeah, it's not painted on or something.
No, the whole section comes off of the controller. It's very excited to get my hands on with this and see how it compares to the old PlayStation controller and, of course, to the Xbox Series X. It looks a little more slender, but I think it grew a little bit comparatively. iPhone 12 production is at full tilt, 24-hour operation, mandatory overtime, no holidays!
Wow.
Imagine that. You see that order coming down.
Holidays. Yeah.
People need their iPhones this holiday season. You're not leaving. Foxconn! So we have a report here. Apparently, according to the South China Morning Post, that's Vin's favorite newspaper, you can earn 5,000 to 6,000 won per month, which is US $880. If you work at the factory more than 90 days, there's a handsome amount of special pay. So this is what you're getting paid. Right now, it's mandatory overtime. All right, you're not leaving. They've got incentives for hiring new people. And you're not taking that holiday. Apparently, there's an 8-day national holiday that normally begins on October 1st. You're not having it.
No.
Too many iPhones.
Yeah.
Did you expect that that a person working at the iPhone assembly plant, did you expect they were making $880 per month?
No. I was expecting less. But, I mean, it seems okay. 1,000? I mean, what are you doing there, you know?
You can't buy that iPhone 1 month to pay, man.
I guess, yeah. But, I mean...
You don't need that iPhone?
I don't think so, no. I mean, if you're working, you know, a month, yeah, just checking circuit boards and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're happy with it. Okay. Well, I just had to press you there, Will.
I mean, yeah.
How do you get to the bottom of it?
Here.
How do you get to the bottom of it? Of course, that particular employee, 33 years old, and they worked at the factory for over 4 years. I don't know, an entry level or a first year person presumably would not be getting 880 USD or between 5,000 and 6,001. And of course, cost of living, expenses, it's all different, right?
Well, don't they live at like a residence?
That's important to note as well.
Yeah.
It's a whole Foxconn village. Anyway, normally they would get a national break, the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is an 8-day break from October 1st to 8th. But Foxconn workers are being asked not to take this time. One worker said some are happy to comply with the stringent iPhone 12 production demands because the law entitles them to triple pay for the first 3 days of the national holiday. So it's kind of like an overtime situation.
Yo, is this not the Hunger Games? Yo, why does this sound like the fucking Hunger Games where people are separated? Yo, this cat, I don't know where this cat comes from, but it just lives in my backyard now. You can't really see it, but there's a white spot right in the back of the yard. You see the back of the fence and then that white thing on the ground? That's a cat. And this cat is in my backyard every day. Now, if you look all the way to the right side of the fence, here, I saw it here the other day. And it's just sitting here, and it was like a white spot. And I thought it was a trash bag or something, or some litter that blew into the yard. So I'm walking out here to pick it up. And it moves, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's a cat, and now it's here. It's walking around. This motherfucker loves my backyard, yo. And he just kind of stays in one spot for a long time. Like, I swear, like, the other day, this bitch was sitting right here underneath these bushes for, like, an hour. Just not moving, just sitting there asleep like a bitch. And now he's been out here just in this same spot, just kind of sitting there for about 15 minutes now. I keep thinking about, like, leaving a bowl of food and milk out or something like that, but then, I don't know. I don't want to make the stray cat my cat. Yeah, I know. And like when I walked up on, I got kind of close, and it really didn't get startled and run away. It just kind of looked at me to see if I was gonna fuck with it. Like, are you gonna leave me alone or not, mister? And I'm like, all right, cat, you just napping. So I just walked away. Motherfucker put his head back down and went back to sleep. I was like, I guess you think this is your yard now, motherfucker. What? Oh well. I say he just still sitting in the same spot. Motherfucker just find a spot and just sit around and just chill for a minute, yo. Not doing nothing, just licking himself like a cat. Since it is a cat. But, yo, this right here sounds like the Hunger Games. Districts section off, and you all live in the same district, and you all do the same job.
But Foxconn workers are being asked not to take this time. One worker said some are happy to... How do you get to the bottom of it? How do you get to the bottom of it? Of course, that particular employee, 33 years old, and they worked at the factory for over 4 years. I don't know, an entry level or a first year person presumably would not be getting 880 USD or between 5 and 6,000 won. And of course, cost of living, expenses, it's all different, right?
Well, don't they live at like a residence?
That's important to note as well.
Yeah.
It's a whole Foxconn village.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, normally they would get a national break, the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is an 8-day break from October 1st to 8th. But Foxconn workers are being asked not to take this time. One worker said some are happy to comply with the stringent iPhone 12 production demands because the law entitles them to triple pay for the first 3 days of the national holiday. So it's kind of like an overtime situation, but it's not an optional overtime situation. But if you have to do the overtime, you get paid a little bit more. So yeah, when it comes to that 880 per month, I don't know if that applies to everybody in there. I to be clear, that's just one particular person, and maybe they got a lot of overtime in there or whatever else. But either way, it makes a lot of sense they're running at max capacity. I don't even know. They're late to the party, right? Apple would normally be further along. The announcement is delayed. Everything's going to have to happen fast here. And they're coming from behind because of pandemic stuff. And so now it's like, we've already got word and speculation on next-gen console shortage. Is it going to be any different with iPhone?
Are you worried about quality control?
That's another question. You start speeding things up, you got people working round the clock 24 hours.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We got to wait and see, but people want their iPhones this holiday season, I'll tell you what. You remember we were playing with that foldable PC from Lenovo?
Oh, yeah.
That seemed like a long time ago now.
The concept at the time.
It was just a concept, wasn't it? The X1 foldable. They're making it. Not only are they making it, you can order it right now, Will.
Oh, yeah.
It'll cost you a few dollars.
How much?
Close to $2,500.
Oh.
What do you think?
For a laptop.
But is it a laptop? Is it a tablet? It's hard to say. It is a much larger foldable than what we've seen. It's a scaled up version of the foldables we've seen, but it has so many funky characteristics, like the ability to split the display with a digital keyboard on the bottom side, or the ability to plop a mechanical keyboard on top of one half of the screen.
Yes.
Or the ability to set the whole thing on a kind of easel and stick a keyboard in front of it.
Yes.
Or the ability to carry it under your arm, like a nice little, it looks sort of like a notebook, like a moleskin almost. It's leather bound.
Yeah.
It looks leather bound. I don't know, probably not
looking.
Actual leather. It's an OLED display, $2,500, starting at $2,500. I could probably spec it a few more than that. It's got an Intel Core i5 chip, some sort of custom chip. The ThinkPad X1 Fold. I've been a ThinkPad fan in the past. It's funny, though, because one of the major reasons that I'm a fan of ThinkPad products is the amazing keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you've always been a fan of those.
Here you have a completely keyboardless device with a keyboard attachment. Can they bring the same DNA through on the detachable keyboard? Look, it has a kickstand. This is such a strange device. I love it. Maybe
Very cool, yeah.
Maybe they send it over to me and I place it right here. I don't know. And I goof around.
Well, we're getting it.
Oh.
They're going to send it over.
Oh, they're sending it over, aren't they?
So, yeah, that's exciting.
So we're going to goof around a little more than, obviously, the original video was just a prototype. Mm-hmm. So I remember there were certain things that like, oh, that's going to change with the final version and so on. What else can I tell you about it? Well, it's a 13-inch notebook. Of course, that's the whole display. If you're using the whole display, 8 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, 11th gen Intel processors, 50 watt-hour battery, and it weighs just 2.2 pounds with 5G support. They say their hinge is robust. It'll be bending and folding for years to come. It's a 2K display, 16 by 10, and it's about the same height as a 14-inch 16 by 9 laptop. No, wait, that's a different model. The Nano. That's a different model.
13.3.
Ignore the last part that I just said. But it will be 2.2 pounds.
Oh.
So anyway, many different ways to use it.
It's a kilo.
We're only scratching the surface.
That shit weigh 1 kilo.
Some of this technology, it does look like a real ThinkPad keyboard, by the way. And something interesting, you can fold the whole unit up with the keyboard on the inside, which is quite
That's
nice.
useful. You don't have to put it away somewhere.
Yeah, it's a nice spot to hold your keyboard. They also say it's durable. They just dropped something on it in this video. Anyway, we are in a situation right now where the technology might be a little bit ahead of our ability to imagine it in our lives. It's like, hey, we can fold screens, and everybody's scrambled. Where are we folding? Where are we?
Yeah.
And we
Who
talked
cares
about
about
this.
the use case? Let's just do it.
Yes, and we've talked about this in the past, how that can be frustrating because people say, I don't need that. But for me, I think it's inspiring because it's sometimes, especially in the early stages, you know you're onto something when you can't. The more futuristic products require some imagination. Imagination from a construction and engineering standpoint, and imagination from a user standpoint, and imagination from a software developer standpoint. Everybody has to look at the technology, scratch the sides of their heads in the temple region, and say, what could we do with that? What could we do with that? Microsoft is doing it. Samsung's doing it.
The 2020 Hyundai Elantra, backed by America's best
Would you have a folding screen phone or a folding screen
Elantra for $119.
laptop
Lenovo do
or
it the
tablet?
So I'm not mad. Let's experiment, have a little fun, human beings making things. Speaking of making things, apparently Apple is looking into an unusual design, potentially for an upcoming MacBook or other device. They're working on a patent around a particular type of hinge, which may be reminiscent of something else that you've seen in the past. So I'm going to test you right now. Test your historical knowledge of tech devices here. Scroll down a little bit, and you see the patent filing, a little bit more. And you see the patent filing, and you see the hinge. I want you to focus in on the hinge. Does it remind you of anything, Will?
Yeah, that's the Surface laptop?
Wrong!
It's not. Well, that is. It is.
It's the Surface Book.
Oh, okay, whatever.
The Surface laptop has a much more traditional hinge.
Sure. Yeah, well, you know where I was going with it.
It's the Surface Book.
It had
Will.
like a curve.
No, for the longest time I made the same mistake that you. That's why I asked you, because it's hard to book laptop. It looks like a laptop, but of course, what's special about the Surface Book, the entire computer portion is in the display, and you could just yank it off and use it on the couch as a tablet. Right. The Surface laptop is just a laptop. That's it. It doesn't even flip around or anything.
Yeah, well, you know what I was saying.
Nah, I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, so imagine an Apple version of that. Now, it's important to note, in their patent filing here, it looks more almost like the Magic Keyboard thing they have for the iPad, because it looks like there's magnets in there, and you can slap a tablet on top of it. So yes, this hinge could be used in a number of different devices. It could be a laptop, but Apple keeps pushing towards the iPad as their focus. I mean, there's a feeling, a sentiment that that's really what they want to advance. So is this the best of both? Is this an enhancement on what they've already done with the Magic Keyboard product, where you could have a modular setup? And maybe you don't yank the whole thing off, but it slaps on top and interfaces in that fashion. Because this design actually looks like it has two of those accordion-style hinges. It has one immediately behind the keyboard, and then a second one halfway up where the screen portion would be. So it's going to be weird. It's going to give you angles. The double accordion flippy-foldy laptop/convertible. Of course, if this happens, people will point at, they'll make memes out of it. They'll say, well, Microsoft did that hinge with whatever. I don't know. I don't care too much about that. I think if you can do a better version of it, if you can do something interesting with it, go for it.
Innovation.
Yeah, we'll see what you can do. We'll see what you can do. This company, Hyperjuice, has a kind of outlandish product here. You ever wanted 1,600 watts of charging, Will? Yeah, you did.
All the time.
Yeah, you did. You didn't. You This is what you think about. This is guys like you and I.
Morning, I think about this.
Yeah, guys like you and I. We imagine 1,600 watts of charging. These are stackable GAN chargers, each capable of 100 watts. You can stack 16 of them together to get 1,600 watts off of a single power port. You imagine this, will you? You're always running out of ports, power ports.
Yeah.
You can't, you got the extension cord and everything. No. These just plug into one another. And then all your gadgets and devices are powered up. It's a beautiful thing. In fact, if you scroll down to the next little graphic here, you'll see a whole table worth of laptop devices charging off of a single power port through stacking.
Yeah, you bring your own GAN charger.
That's it.
You're good.
Plug into your buddy's GAN. Got your own GAN. Okay, this is on Kickstarter right now. I've seen Hyperjuice's products in the past. Very interesting stuff. They have a 65 watt option with 2 USB-C, 1 USB-A. They have a 100 watt option with 3 USB-C, 1 USB-A. And each has this built-in plug rated at 1,500 watts. The plug on the charger itself can output 1,500. So
wow.
even if you didn't want to daisy chain chargers together, you could just plug something else in to the port. You can see it's the size of some Tic Tacs. When's the last time you had a Tic Tac, Will?
It's been forever.
Been a minute, as the youngsters say. This is on Kickstarter right now. They blew past their initial goal of 100,000. They've got 300 grand in orders right now. This is a company that's been on Amazon in the past. Everybody wants a GAN charger. Everyone's rushing to the charger market right now because, of course, Apple is not going to be including a charger in the next iPhone, and people are going to look elsewhere. So everyone's saying, well, look, they're $500,000 now. Everybody's saying, well, we want to be your next charger for everything. And so they're rushing to put out the products in time. Samsung may not include chargers in their next models. And so now we're just going to, instead of having the chargers that the manufacturers give us, we're just going to have a stack of GAN chargers.
Yeah.
Because we're always going to think the next one is better. And guys like you and I are going to have 7 different GAN chargers. We'll be like, see, we saved the environment. Meanwhile, we just boat-loaded our GAN.
Yeah.
So, of course I'm joking.
Build a fort with them.
Of course I'm joking. It's, take it easy. Google has shown off the Pixel 5 again.
On their Twitter?
Yeah, on their Twitter. It was Google Japan. On their Twitter, they just did a quick, friendly little Pixel 5 post. You scroll down a little bit, you can see it. Just a friendly one, no big deal. You've seen it anyways, who cares? Well, apparently they were a bit too soon because they yanked it down. But it's no surprise to us that we can just basically say it now with absolutely 100% confidence, unless everybody is trolling us, including Google themselves, which I don't think so. That would be a real long-term troll. That's what your Pixel 5 is going to look like. And an interesting takeaway here, Will, is to think about how much we've heard about the Pixel 5 and how little we've heard about the XL product. It's weird. It's like all the leaks now are really focused in on this one model, this one Pixel 5 model. So I don't know what that means. There's supposed to be this Pixel 4a 5G as well, which is the name I hate most of any smartphone in 2020. If they go with it, of course, we don't have to wait long because tomorrow's the event. Tomorrow or today when you're watching this video. In fact, so that will be September 30th, and we're going to get all the details for real from Google. And maybe even a device.
Yes.
Maybe even our very own Pixel 5 to evaluate. We're going to try out that camera. We're going to be staring at that incredible processing that goes on inside the stock camera app. That's what we're going to be doing.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of leaked Google products, you must have seen this one. Home Depot started selling a Google product that hasn't even been announced yet. Announced!
Yeah.
Announced! That's a new... Wow, that is high-level leaking.
They have a lot of inventory, I guess.
It's hilarious. It's the new Chromecast with Google TV, up for sale right now for $49.99. Of course, not announced.
You still buy it?
What's that?
Or is it? Yeah, you can still buy it.
Yeah, it's on the shelf. People are finding it in all kinds of different Home Depots.
Oh, okay.
What the hell?
Just
And
directly in
Microsoft ain't
store
even announced it yet?
from Walmart and Home Depot. People have picked up last week. I don't know if Google even tried to police it at that point. They're like, one more day, few people get it early, whatever. The funny part is, on the receipt, it doesn't say Chromecast. It says Sabrina Abbey Rock Candy.
Oh.
That's what you bought at Home Depot. That's the code name for the device. So you would think maybe somebody inside a Home Depot would say, huh, that's a weird inventory name.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not selling that yet. But you know how it goes.
It's not the right SKU.
They got so many SKUs. Imagine Home Depot, how many SKUs they got.
Mm.
They got a SKU for the little
Nails.
hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible. So anyway, that's what it looks like. They're kind of changing the name of this stuff a little bit. So it's called Google TV is what they're calling the interface. They got, of course, the price is listed there, $49.99. It's going to come in a white finish, which Google calls snow. And we're going to find out everything once again on September 30th, which is today at 2 p.m. Eastern.
And it has a remote, by the way.
Oh yes, has a kind of a Apple TV-esque remote.
With kind of like a touchpad.
Or a Roku remote. They all kind of look like that, these
Google,
slender little remotes.
Google
But anyways, yes, we'll
TV.
find out everything at 2 p.m. today, which is shortly after you're watching this, so we don't have to wait too long. This is very surreal. We've seen this concept car, this Mercedes-Benz concept, and every time you see it, you feel like your eyes are playing tricks on you. Is it
CG?
Yeah, is it really there in front of me? And then finally this clip comes out of it driving and these guys driving it. Yeah, it actually is a thing. It's real. The crab walk thing that it can do side to side, the center piece that allows you to steer it. They could have goofed us as well. These two guys look very polished, so they could have goofed us, but they're saying this is actual drive footage now, and there's a full-out video about the development of it and the interface, the Vision AVTR, or Avatar road test. I mean, my goodness, that is the coolest car ever?
Yeah.
It is, right?
Yeah.
How
Even
do
how
you...
it operates.
And there's definitely some...
There's no steering wheel.
Yeah, there's some kind of autonomous component. Because your only input can't be this little joystick in the center where you just rest your hand, and that seems... The doors and windows...
This November, the question isn't what is on the line. It's who.
Can stream 4K content from a whole bunch of different apps to your TV, and it's only $50. I'm going over my hands-on impressions of the device right now. This is called the Chromecast with Google TV. It comes in 3 colors. This is snow, there's also sunrise and sky, $49.99 and available today. Google first showed it off at their event where they were debuting the new Pixel phone, but we've seen lots of leaks. We knew it was coming. Anyway, it's here, and it checks a lot of the right boxes. $50, and it's 4K with Dolby Vision. There aren't a whole lot of streamers out there that can do 4K with Dolby Vision. Amazon has the Fire TV, Roku has one with 4K, but competitively, this offers a lot at a reasonable price. Plus, this is the first Chromecast to come with an actual physical remote. So the fact that it has 3 colors isn't completely meaningless, because yeah, you're going to hide this behind your TV when you plug it into your HDMI, but the remote's going to have the same color and it's going to match. And the remote actually has a button so you can talk to Google Assistant, meaning you can give smart home commands, you can ask questions, and your TV can pull up a feed from your Nest Cam. You can use the Chromecast to talk to someone with Google Meet. You're going to use the Google Home app to set it up, which is the same app you use to set up smart speakers and smart displays, and then you can actually group your TV through the Chromecast with those speakers for a whole home audio setup. So this is checking a lot of boxes at an appealing price, and it's coming with just about every app under the sun available except for Apple TV Plus. That includes HBO Max, which Roku doesn't have and Amazon doesn't have, and Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, pretty much any of the apps you'd want to use to be able to stream content to your TV. Now, the device is called Chromecast with Google TV. That part is indicating the new operating software to show you content. Google TV is going to replace Android TV. And it's going to roll out and be embedded in some smart TVs moving forward, but this is the way to access it first and foremost. The big new feature of Google TV is a tab called For You, which is going to show you curated content pulled from your apps based on your viewing preferences to help you find something to watch quickly and easily. There's also going to be a live TV tab that is integrated right out of the gate with YouTube TV, so you can easily switch from watching something on Netflix to watching the game and then switch back. That makes that nice and seamless. And then supposedly Google is going to work with more service providers moving forward so that that live TV tab gets more robust. The other nice feature of Google TV is the watch list. Now, lots of devices have some sort of a list so you can mark what you want to watch. But the appeal here is that you can mark something on your phone or your computer or anywhere, and it will show up on your watch list on Google TV. So finding what to watch and doing it easily is the whole idea. And then you also always have Google Assistant to talk to your TV and say, hey, I'd like to watch a movie with Tom Hanks. So them's the basics. The one downside here is that this strangely isn't getting Google Stadia until next year. Stadia is Google's game streaming service, and right now, if you want a Chromecast to do that for you, you're still going to need to pay $70 for the Chromecast Ultra. The Ultra really doesn't have any other advantages over this, so if you're not itching to play Stadia, you might just want to wait until next year, get this, and then you can play Stadia for $20 cheaper. As of now, the existing $30 Chromecast and the $70 Chromecast Ultra are going to stay on the market, but this for $50 gets you the same specs as the Ultra and comes with that spiffier Google TV interface. The Chromecast with Google TV is available right now if you're in the US, and I've gotten to spend roughly a night testing it out and trying out the new Google TV interface. And so far, I like it. The For You tab is supposed to be the big highlight, and I went through the whole setup process and put in my apps. I have Netflix, and I have Hulu, and I have Amazon Prime, and I go to the For You tab to see the curated content, and the first thing it shows me is Man of Steel, the Zack Snyder Superman movie. And I'm not sure what I did in my life to deserve that recommendation, but that clearly wasn't really for me. I like superhero movies all right, but Man of Steel? And also, I went through the trouble of telling it what apps I have, and it was showing me stuff from Disney Plus and HBO Max. I get it, those are popular services, and yeah, you want to tell people you have HBO Max, but I don't have that. I have plenty of services. Show me my stuff. I had a few hiccups with the remote as well. The power button won't control the TV and the Chromecast and my soundbar. I can sync them all to the remote, and I can switch so that it is controlling the soundbar or my TV and the Chromecast, but it won't control them all together. That said, the volume rocker will now control my soundbar, and the rest will control the TV and the Chromecast. I was also able to go into the apps in the app tab and delete Disney Plus and delete HBO Max. I'm not sure why they automatically downloaded those in the first place. And some of the recommendations were getting a little bit better as the evening went on. So it's very possible that the For You tab gets much better the more you use the service. Google's just trying to shortcut that process of a lot of other streamers ask you what you like when you're first logging in. Google kind of wants to figure it out for you, but my initial impressions of that process weren't great. I also would have liked an easier way to get to the shows I actually did want to watch. When I was sitting down for dinner, I wanted to watch the next episode of What We Do in the Shadows on Hulu, in which I had to go over the app tabs, down to Hulu, click Hulu, go over to their menu of Watch Next, then click through to the episode. And I was like, fine, for the first time, maybe then you'll learn and pop that up on the For You tab. Hey, do you want to watch this next episode of the thing you just watched? That was nowhere to be found. You can add it to your watch list and then it will be in the library for you to find, but in terms of curating content for me, it still wasn't getting to the things that I actually wanted to stream. I was also noticing a strange glitch. I am a bit cheap with Hulu and I have the subscription that still includes commercials, and when it was loading those commercials, sometimes the screen would just go blank and sometimes it would play the commercial set twice. This is probably something Google will fix with a software patch shortly. It's just something to note with this particular integration between Hulu and Google TV. So I have a handful of nitpicks, especially with that brand new For You tab of Google TV, but really, $50, 4K, Dolby Vision, it's a good price for good specs and a good variety of apps if you do have all those streaming services. So, the Chromecast with Google TV is worth your consideration, especially if you want all those specs, and especially if you're already invested in that Google ecosystem, because it can control your smart home and work with other smart speakers to play whole home audio. This is very much worth your consideration, and the new remote with the Google Assistant button makes using it easier than ever. So far, I call it a good product. Didn't quite blow me away, but at a reasonable price, it's well worth considering. Thank you for watching. Please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to CNET's YouTube channel for more.
So we've received a few reports at this point, a few indications for the
Look at the future of technology. This is where you can see what will be the mainstream in a couple of years. Push the like button.
Overview of the show in one video release. Here we go. Samsung has brought to the exhibition several robotic solutions at once. One of them was a home-built robot ballet, which many compared to the BB-8 from Star Wars. Small, round, rotating robot knows how to navigate in space and combines the functions of a voice assistant, surveillance camera, and control center of the smart home. You can talk to him, give him tasks. This robot can also notice something that has been woken up on the floor and call the robot vacuum cleaner to clean up the garbage. Its capabilities will be constantly expanding through artificial intelligence and scaling the system of smart gadgets. The unexpected premiere was a concept of the Vision S electric car from Sony. The car brought together all the technologies and developments, not only from Sony, but also partners like Nvidia, BlackBerry, Bosch, Qualcomm, and others. Inside the car, interior and on the Vision S case, there are 33 different sensors and detectors which monitor cars on the road, potential interface, and other objects around. A widescreen display is installed on the dashboard of the interior, and there are two more screens behind the passenger's headrest. The maximum speed is 230 kilometers per hour. With acceleration to 100 kilometers an hour, it only takes 4.8 seconds. Other characteristics are not disclosed. One thing is undisputable. This car is very much like the Tesla Model 3. And how did Elon Musk react to that? No, he didn't. At this time, he was dancing like your drunk uncle at the opening of the new Tesla factory in China, probably suspecting that Sony wouldn't be launching its car on the market soon. Robotics company Sarcos presented at CES 2020 its suite of superpower Guardian Exo. The robotic exoskeleton, which leans on its own legs, can easily attach to any person. As a result, workers, military, and warehouse staff can lift and move heavy loads without risk to their health. In contrast to the harsh exosuit, the Ballet Bot robot waiter was one of the sweetest robots at the trade show. The robot from a company, Padutech, with the muzzle of a cat on a digital display and 4 shelves, can deliver food to tables in the restaurant based on its own positioning and navigational systems, as well as algorithms of planning. Bellabot can change the expression of the muzzle, responding to both words and touches. Scratch behind his ear when you receive an order, and he will purr like a real cat. But don't get carried away, because, as the developers assure, he can get angry by reminding that he needs to work. Mercedes-Benz presented at the exhibition a completely crazy and fantastic ABTR concept, a new bionic, self-driving electric concept car that describes it as an extension of your own body. The name is not in vain associated with the word avatar. According to the author's idea, the car is also supposed to be an extension of the driver. The car even has its own living skin, 33 bionic flaps, which can automatically open like animal gills, and should give the car its own sense of individuality. The car will be fully electric and autonomous. There is even no traditional steering wheel in the cabin, and all controls are displayed on a huge display in the central panel. But it was not Mercedes that won the innovation prize, but the Groove X and its Lobot robot. The robot companion can move around the house on its own, acting as an emotional support and source of happiness, taking pictures of users when they smile, working as a baby monitor, and driving around the house as a guard. And all this for $3,000 plus $80 per subscriber. Of course, for this money, you can put your Furby on a vacuum cleaner robot and then buy, for example, a Honda Civic. Toyota, they only exhibited their THR3 at the IREX in Japan, brought it to Los Angeles. The robot, based on NVIDIA GPU technology, can smoothly move and control its body using an advanced synchronization and maneuvering system. THR3 is controlled by a human operator in a virtual reality headset, capturing perception data through an NVIDIA Jetson AGX Xavier computer embedded in the robot. But the sensational robot avatar is not THR3, but virtual people from Samsung's Neon project. The company has developed an artificial intelligence that generates 3D models of non-existent people, avatars. They can move, talk, show emotions, and act as virtual assistants. The technology is created in Star Labs and differs from deepfake and other methods of creating 3D models of people. In the future, the company plans to license Neon avatars, sell them to other companies as virtual assistants on sites, leading, or even actors. Jarvis Startup presented at CES a smart helmet designed for motorcycle drivers. The system displays information about speed, navigation, weather, multimedia, roadsides, and other data directly on the glass in real time. The device can be connected to an Amazon Alexa voice assistant and give him commands. It's likely that these helmets will soon be able to connect to the internet and surf the web with just the movement of an eye or voice. A major release for CES is the Evo 2. Evo 2 Pro and Evo 2 dual drones from Autel Robotics. The Evo 2 drone makes 48 megapixel photos and 8K videos, but that's not all. A 7000 mAh battery provides approximately 40 minutes of flight time, and 12 sensors for obstacle avoidance make the drone as smart as the Skydio 2. What's more, you can set up a virtual protection bubble around the drone to further protect it from collisions. In doing so, Autel announces speeds similar to the Mavic 2 Pro, including a top speed of 72 kilometers per hour. The Evo 2 Pro drone, although it shoots in 6K, has an adjustable aperture like the DJI Phantom Pro and the Mavic 2 Pro. Finally, the Evo 2 Dual is a drone equipped with a FLIR Boson thermal imaging camera in addition to the 8K. All 3 drones have a range of up to 9 kilometers, 8 gigabytes of internal memory, and are equipped with a controller with an integrated screen as well as phone connectivity. But the award for innovation was given to the Doosan drone, which runs on a hydrogen fuel cell system. The DS-30 commercial drone with DP-30 frame features an incredible in-flight time of up to 120 minutes with a maximum payload of 5 kilograms. Another innovation award went to the Mix Pro underwater scooter from Sublu. It is the smallest twin-engine submarine scooter on the market, capable of speeds up to 1.8 meters per second with a battery life of 60 minutes. The high-brightness color display shows the power consumption and speed. The waterproof housing will protect your smartphone or camera, which can be connected to capture your underwater adventures. Agility Robotics has brought its recently released Digit Robot to the show. The two-legged robot, with its torso, arms, and sensors, knows how to stand up, and if it falls, hold the balance, open doors, and carry objects. We will certainly tell you more about this in the next issue. Another robotic pet was tried to create by Elephant Robotics. MarsCat is a fully autonomous bionic cat that responds to interactions. It's able to feel the touch, hear voices, see faces, and play with toys. But the most notorious robot in the media since the show is the Rollbot, whose only superpower is that it will deliver you a new roll of toilet paper if no one else can. The truth is, you have to put a roll on the robot's head beforehand. In our opinion, a much more impressive technology was the bionic hand with the Brain Company Artificial Intelligence System. The electronic device allows you to control the movements of the artificial hand by the power of thought alone. The company claims that 6 gestures can be programmed in just a few minutes, and that's really cool. At this year's Samsung booth, you could also see a couple of hands. A kitchen assistant at BotChef prepared salads for visitors on their order. There were 35 recipes to choose from. After receiving the order, the robot searched the cabinets for ingredients, found them, took them with the right force, and took away the excess back. At the same time, the robot gave the recipe to its human assistant, who performed a number of operations that are not available to the robot yet. Using artificial intelligence and computer vision algorithms, BotChef can not only cut the product, stopping if a person comes close to it, but also quite quickly learn new skills. For example, right during the presentation, the robot was taught to operate a coffee machine. The robot hands are approximately equal to size in human hands, have 6 degrees of freedom, have 4 joints, and 3 fingers. Would you buy such hands? Let us know down in the comments. Another robotic chef at the exhibition was the Picnic Robot, capable of cooking up to 300 pizzas per hour. The Picnic modular system is customized to suit the needs of the customer, whether it's a large restaurant or a small cafe. The robot has an artificial intelligence that controls the composition and consistency of the pizza. Deep machine learning and computer vision allow the robot to cook any kind of pizza perfectly every time. Now, the Gadget Gatebox cannot cook, but can meet you at home with a happy welcome. The device works as a home helper or smart speaker, but with a virtual interactive character that's happy when you get home and remind you to take an umbrella if the weather forecast for the day is not going to be happy, just like last winter. A cool innovation for those who prefer to create robots themselves is the robotic platform Ping Pong, which is based on a single module called Cube. With these cubes, each containing its own battery, motor, and processor board, it is possible to assemble a walking, crawling, or dancing robot. The modules are connected via Bluetooth and controlled by the Ping Pong apps in Android and iOS, or Scratch. The robot can also be programmed with Python. Segway introduced the S-Pod. In comparison with WALL-E, here is the inevitable. Although the company claims that the inspiration for the development were capsules from the Jurassic World, the S-Pod is something between a comfortable chair, a scooter, and a giant egg. The new mobile device is designed to put people through areas such as shopping centers, airports, and theme parks without dinosaurs. The self-balancing device can reach speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour and is controlled by a small handle on the armrest. Subsidiary company Exami Humani presented at the CES 2020 system for home fitness, Amazfit Home Studio. The device includes a 43-inch huge smart mirror, the Glass JBL, speakers with surround sound, and a treadmill. The mirror, which is also a screen, can showcase thousands of exercises from its own library. A 3D camera with a computer vision system will monitor your posture and technique during the exercises. Panasonic introduced the world's first virtual reality glasses with UHD and high dynamic range HDR support. In addition to the new OLED micropanel displays and record-breaking 4K image resolution, the glasses feature a steampunk design. Another futuristic new feature is the invisible Samsung selfie-type keyboard. The application uses a front camera and AI algorithm to create a virtual keyboard based on a fingertip. You'll agree the idea is worth it, unless the ubiquitous T9 is trapped in it and it prints its thoughts instead of your own. But the prize for the funny idea will not go to her, but the Youngling's Low Flyer, a suitcase for carrying children. If the idea of a family vacation seems like a nightmare to you because you can't control your luggage and a small child at the airport at the same time, just fasten it to the suitcase with what is called a seatbelt for the view. Among other countries, the Russian company Yandex was also represented at the CES exhibition, which distinguished itself by its autonomous cars and rolled around the streets of the city in a fully autonomous mode, which was not even done by American companies. What a cool promo action. A car with a full driving system, LR Deep Route, could create competition for the Yandex navigation, but they did not drive journalists around the city. The system itself fully embodies the idea of an autonomous car of the future. LR Deep Route is a complete set of solutions for robotics, ranging from sensor solutions, sensing, planning and control, HD card in real time, simulator, and ending with a cloud platform. The system has several hardware and software security mechanisms that ensure the security and stability of the system with automatic control. Promobot has also distinguished itself at the exhibition, bringing to the stand the latest version of the promotional robot and the robot with the face of Arnold Schwarzenegger. The company managed to sell both on the first day of the exhibition, as well as to conclude a contract for the supply of Promobots to work on the offices in San Francisco. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, share the video, and comment down below. What did you like best at CES 2020?
Today, our release is dedicated to the evolution of Boston Dynamics robots and how they have managed to remain the best robots in the world for so many years. And also whether or not they are really that cool. Enjoy, like, subscribe to the channel, and stay up to date with the most interesting tech of the world. Let's go! Boston Dynamics were headed by Elon Musk. We would know all about these robots from Twitter, but Mark Reibert is not so talkative about actually what happens behind the scenes of rare but absolutely crazy videos of the company. We have to gather in pieces from the assumptions of experts in the field of robotics. The biggest question is how smart are Boston Dynamics robots? Recently, all experts have agreed that the company does not use artificial intelligence at all. And machine training, by the way, only carefully hand-developed classic control laws, the base of which all was probably developed back when Mark Reibert worked at the Legg Laboratory. These are just a few examples of his work at the time. This approach does not require training, but guarantees stability and performance, but in a limited range of tasks. If you could change the task, you will have to change the management law. However, last year it became known that Boston Dynamics is looking for a team of developers who specialize in machine learning, in particular, training with reinforcement. Probably such engineers were found, and maybe the result was a new video with a redesigned handle robot that stopped showing impressive tricks, but learned to work in the warehouse. But back to the main theme of the video, namely the evolution of Boston Dynamics robots and how they work. The first known robot of the company, Big Dog, presented in 2005, was developed in collaboration with Foster Miller, the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and Harvard University. Designed specifically for DARPA, the robot had to carry military cargo over rough terrain but was too noisy. The project was closed, but the Big Dog wasn't useless. On it, Boston Dynamics worked out algorithms of movement which then went on to other robots in the company, up to the Atlas robot. We'll get back to them at the end of the video. In September of 2011, AlphaDog, created for DARPA, was presented. More robust and quieter, the robot was equipped with a stereo vision system and LiDAR. In 2012, AlphaDog Proto, with improved support system legged squad, LS3, was released. A series of sensors along with LS3 allows for the robot to follow a person through rough terrain, avoiding obstacles. The robot could also walk on its own via GPS or follow voice commands. By the way, in 2013, unexpectedly reminded of himself Big Dog, who got a hand and learned to throw a 15-kilogram concrete blocks using his own body as a counterweight. It looked impressive. Cheetah was the third robot developed by Boston Dynamics with DARPA funding. This four-legged robot accelerated to 46 kilometers per hour, but on a high-speed treadmill, powered by an onboard hydraulic pump. This incredible result is achieved by using the robot's flexible spine to increase speed and step length. The standalone Cheetah model is called the Wildcat, and today it's the fastest quadruple robot capable of running at 32 kilometers per hour without losing balance. Hetman was first introduced in 2009 and demonstrated amazing lightness of quite human gait, the basis for which was the algorithm developed for Big Dog. Over time, the robot designed to test chemical protection suits evolved externally and learned to squat, bend, crawl, and perform other actions just like a human would do. And in 2013, the Atlas robot was presented, the most perfect anthropomorphic robot at the moment, based on both Petman and Big Dog. The robot is not designed for a specific application, but as a research platform. Atlas has one of the most compact mobile hydraulic systems in the
Alright, I'm gonna get out of here for a little while. Go pay this goddamn speeding ticket. Catch y'all next time. Peace.